That was so much fun. I don't think I've laughed and smiled that much in a Nintendo Direct in a long time. And there were definitely some strange moments and some odd choices, but I thought that thing flowed, I thought that thing was fun, and I thought that thing fleshed out a lot that we were eager to know and confirmed a lot of dreams that now are realities. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce, and today I'm taking you through the September 2021 Nintendo Direct, my reaction and my review. I'm saving my voice after my outburst during the actual live stream, but we'll get to that in a moment. Make sure to smash that like button and let me know your grade, your review of the Direct, what you liked and what you didn't like in the comments down below. Because gosh darn it, that one had it all. It had laughs, it had tears, it had a bit of everything, and I feel like it was one of the best organized presentations we've seen from Nintendo, and it even included a surprise appearance from Shigeru Miyamoto, and that to me was a joy to behold and a really nice cherry on top. Although I will say I think this presentation didn't have an actual cherry on top, and that was kind of my biggest disappointment. But let's go over what was really great first, because I thought this was a fantastic show. I'm calling it right now. Kirby in the Forgotten Land is going to be one of the biggest surprises and most loved titles of 2022. I could not help but think that that game looks just like Mario Odyssey fused with the little pink puffball. Kirby with a big open world, with a ton of new elements, with a bunch of creative stages, bosses, locales, and mechanics seems like the perfect evolution for that franchise. I'll tell you, I haven't been this excited for a Kirby game since Crystal Shards on N64, and this is poised to be the coolest Kirby adventure ever because it's really taking that franchise and throwing it straight into modern times. And for a dev that's so heavily focused on cutesy and cuddly and colorful, they had some really interesting environments. I was impressed with the art direction, seeing the dilapidated city and the abandoned amusement park and the snowy vistas. It looks like there's gonna be a lot of variety, and I'm very curious how they sort of spread things out and how they separate level from level or progression through progression, what you're really trying to collect or accomplish, if it's A to B, if it's objectives, if there's stars, how they really set this one up. But we won't have to wait long because this game is dropping spring 2022. And I think there's nothing sweeter than a brand new game taking a franchise in a different direction that you don't have to wait too long for. Now, it was a bit of a bummer because this game accidentally leaked out by Nintendo themselves via a screenshot before the Direct. I luckily didn't see the screenshot, but it was impossible to ignore that Kirby was coming back. I think had that not been leaked out, it would have made an even bigger impact, but that was fantastic. And the fact that they placed it so early in the show really got my hopes up for what was to follow. But if you were kind of worried about the direction of this Direct after the opening minutes, I wouldn't blame you, because it did seem like an odd start. They started off with their big third-party announcement instead of Smash Bros, and then said, hey, Smash Bros ain't actually in here, which caught me off guard. We are gonna find out about the final fighter on October the 5th in a special and final Sakurai Presents. No hints were given as to who we will see, but we know we'll all be waiting. They did kick it off with a new Monster Hunter Rise expansion, and I wasn't ready for that. I mean, the game just came out 6 months ago, and here they are with Sunbreak, which takes Monster Hunter to a medieval setting. It almost feels like Dark Souls fused with MHR, and that game's phenomenal, so that's a really nice get for Switch. The fact that they're gonna be jamming that with even more content, this time of the paid variety, is really cool. But I did find that to be surprising as the big third-party announcement. There was no GTA Remastered, there was no Resident Evil, and there was no Mass Effect Legendary Edition. But between Monster Hunter and Kirby, things were a little rough. That Chocobo GP game does not look good at all to me. And Voice of Cards, like, it could be interesting, but I also thought it was an odd choice to put so far up front. It didn't surprise me that Mario Party Superstars was up there, and I think they really sold that game to me. First off, I love Horrorland. That was like my favorite board as a kid from Mario Party 2. And the announcement of the minigame Mountain, where they're going to have some challenges and survival modes with different co-op and competitive online play, is really intriguing. I'm ready to duke it out and prove my minigame worth against everybody else, against all you. I mean, the boards are cool, and the main mode being fully online is still great, but I feel like minigame challenges is where I'll spend most of my time. Nintendo decided to show off Metroid Dread once again, and there wasn't a peep about the Prime series whatsoever, but Dread is coming and Dread looks delightful. I didn't need to see any more of it, but that game continues to look stellar. And it was odd to me that they didn't mention Switch OLED alongside its October 8th release date. In fact, as far as I remember, the Switch OLED was nowhere to be seen. And anytime they showed a Switch or games on the Switch, it was the OG Switch. And it was really weird to me that they didn't even take 15 seconds to promote or hype the fact that they have a new piece of hardware launching in 2 weeks. And it's kind of radio silent from the big end. We saw an unboxing from a Japanese YouTuber today, but Nintendo did not put the Switch OLED in front of us at all. What they did put in front of us is old hardware because Nintendo Switch Online got its big update. Or at least they teased the big update and showcased what is going to be coming later in October. We're getting N64 and Genesis. Apparently, the Sega system is the mysterious rumored console that was also coming alongside Nintendo's mainstays, and they're going to be introducing those two as part of a higher tier called the expansion pack for Nintendo Switch Online. Now, they said they'd give pricing, release dates, and more info at a later date, but they did reveal a bunch of the N64 and Genesis games that will start on the service, including The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and games that will come at a future date, like Majora's Mask and Banjo-Kazooie. I think they picked a really strong 64 lineup, and hey, we're not getting a whole lot for Zelda's 35th anniversary, but at least we're getting 2 classics from the cartridge era and 2 games that I think still hold up quite well today. Now, I was a bit bummed that Game Boy and Game Boy Color weren't mentioned, nor were any other features as part of this expansion pack. Is there going to be anything else upgraded, improved, or added on for your extra cash? And how much will that cost? Is it like $5 extra for the year? $10 extra for the year? 15? I'm not so sure. And I hope that when they do detail what else they've got going on, that's when they choose to unveil, hey, Game Boy and Game Boy Color are coming to current subscribers, or we're gonna introduce themes or folders or something else additional. Because right now they made 0 updates for your current membership. That membership will not get you access to 64 or Genesis, and I feel like that hasn't fully set in. It's exciting that Nintendo is bringing new consoles, but I'm not sure I feel great about paying more just for access to 64 and Genesis. I guess it depends on the price differential, and it is super cool that many of the multiplayer games are gonna feature online play, like Mario Kart 64, Mario Tennis. That will be really nifty. Then they hit us with the $50 price point for those controllers, and that just feels a lot. I mean, Joy-Con and Pro controllers are already very expensive, but $50 for a throwback N64 controller or Genesis pad? I mean, Nintendo loves money, and they print it this generation because the Switch is so successful, and they know they've got their nostalgic fan base in the palm of their hands, and will buy it. But I really wish it was a bit cheaper, and I wish they'd gone further with their reveals for Nintendo Switch Online so we had a better idea of what's to come, because it's still kind of cloudy, and I honestly was hoping for more. We did get plenty more though, and one of my favorite moments that made me laugh a lot was the Mario movie Miyamoto moment. Thought it was so cool to see Shigeru up there, and the fact that he unveiled the cast was shocking. Chris Pratt, Jack Black, Seth Rogen, we got DK in the movie, Bowser, Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, Kamek, and they're all voice acted by popular, famous actors. I mean, it seems like Miyamoto has really put his heart and soul into this movie. It's his focal project, and we know when he's got his mind set to something, it turns out pretty darn awesome. I mean, none of you expected this, right? Like when Miyamoto said, oh, we're gonna unveil the cast, I was expecting a whole bunch of C-list celebrities, and instead they're like, dude, we got Chris Pratt as Mario, and Jack Black as Bowser, which feels perfect to me. I couldn't believe the star power, and I hope it works out. Like, it's pretty crazy. So my expectations of this movie are now sky high. I think the cast is very cool, and if they can conjure the magic of something like the Lego movie, which I thought was really awesome, then this could be surprisingly great. I mean, every Nintendo fan is gonna wanna see it anyways, and I hope it looks fantastic. They didn't show any trailer, and Miyamoto said it'd be a bit before we see in-movie images, but they did announce a release date of December 21st, 2022, which is a long ways away, but at the same time, it's close. It's coming next year, and I think like you can kind of put that on your calendar as one of the highlights for Nintendo of 2022. Then we had the emotional moment. I screamed and I laughed and I cried because Animal Crossing is back. They finally unveiled Brewster the Roost and a big update. I mean, they divulged an entire new direct for Animal Crossing New Horizons coming in October for a game where the audience felt betrayed or abandoned. Well, it's back in a big way. It's taken a bit to get there, but we're getting a full-on presentation to help highlight all the new features coming alongside the cafe. The data mines seem to be very accurate, and we are getting the showcase in October with a big update in November. And I believe we'll also have a small update in October to unlock Halloween. But man, as a fan of that game and a newcomer to the franchise, it felt good. It felt like, okay, finally Nintendo, they get it, they're doing something right. And I felt like this Direct really did honor the fans. It felt very fan servicey to me, all right? They brought back ActRaiser and it's out today. Castlevania Advance Collection is out today. We got an update on Kirby that's taking that franchise to new heights, probably quite literally. And then Bayonetta 3 was there, finally debuting the sexy hairstyle, new look, and awesome new gameplay for that fantastic platinum fighter. And by fighter, I mean Bayonetta versus everybody, because the villains and foes look bigger than ever. She's got these super sweet summons, and again, her hair, it's also looking big. That game got a 2022 date, nothing more specific, but I will say I found it odd that that was the final moment, that they used Bayonetta 3 as the last hurrah, because typically Nintendo shows off something brand new. I'm not sure Kirby and the Forgotten Land would have fit well there, but for me it would have been better because I like seeing something brand new as the one more thing. This wasn't even really a one more thing, it was just like, hey, here's the last trailer, Bayonetta 3 is back, it's real, it's coming out, and it's coming pretty soon. I know that's appeasing and awesome for a lot of super fans of that franchise. I just wish Nintendo would have ended with one more thing. Whether that was a new Donkey Kong or Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or something we can't possibly predict, I think that would have been pretty neat, and for me it was one of the only lackings of this Direct. Because they also detailed Mario Golf DLC that's out today, and that game is really forming up to be awesome. Like, they added 2 new courses, 2 new characters, and now complementing New Donk City, you've got 3 extra courses that look much more fun than the original lineup in the game, and I'm not quite sure why they didn't start with these and then add some of the more basic courses down the line, but hey, I think Mario Golf Super Rush is now a better buy than it was back in June. And we can't forget about Splatoon 3. That game looks so good, and mammals are back. There were 2 cats, and that was it. But now Return of the Mammalians are coming, and we got fuzzy critters in Splatoon. And it looks to be a globe-spanning adventure with a whole lot more variety and also a bigger scope. Did you notice that? When they were showing off the single player, it felt like that game almost got Odyssey-ified as well. And it seemed like the stages were a lot more expansive and bigger as opposed to just the platform-based stages we're familiar with in Splat 1 and Splat 2. There's a new city full of chaos. Multiplayer retains its similar form, but has awesome new weapons like that crab mech and the Splat grapple. Ooh, that one is gonna be so popular and have so many cool moves, videos, skill shots, and highlight reels. I can't wait. I can't also wait for the date. They didn't give it to us, it's still 2022. And I'm sure with the pandemic, they're just trying to be extra sure before they confirm a date and make sure they can hold to it. But I really thought we would get an early 2022 date for that one. With Kirby in spring, Pokemon Legends Arceus in January, and Project Triangle Strategy hitting in early March, maybe that's Nintendo's starting lineup. Maybe Splatoon is going to be more of a summertime title. I guess we'll have to wait and see. There were a couple other announcements here or there, but those were the big ones that really made me smile. And I thought this showcase was just filled with a lot of Nintendo fan service and joy. And honestly, it was one of my favorites. The Nintendo Direct during E3 was awesome because they had such a first-party lineup to drop, but I think I enjoyed this one more because it just felt like it really moved. It really flowed and everything just followed each other and there wasn't really a dull moment. Although I did find it surprising that Advance Wars Reboot Camp was not shown at all. That game is out in December, we know very little about it, and we haven't seen a trailer in quite some time. This Direct was also exciting to me because it presented multiple future presentations, and we know that lots of information is still to come. So the year ain't over. We got an Animal Crossing Direct, a Smash Final Fighter Direct, we got NSO information coming later in October, and who knows what else. I mean, Nintendo is really keeping the cycle coming, except for the OLED. They don't want to talk about that. But I'm really just excited that this Direct spawned 2 more Directs effectively for Smash and AC. Like, that's really fun, and those are coming fast, and we have more to enjoy. It's just a very fruitful presentation with a lot of cool games, some solid updates, some nice third-party gets, and honestly, surprises. Things weren't there that I thought would be, and things were there that I thought wouldn't be. They paid good homage to their Age of Calamity fans, their Mario Golf fans, their Animal Crossing fans, and a whole lot of other fans with Bayonetta 3, Kirby, and more. I also like that this Direct confirmed so much that we've talked about as of late. I know sometimes it seems iffy when I'm discussing rumors, but I make sure to focus on things that I believe to be true. And many of them happened, including the AC update, the N64 NSO update, the new Kirby, Castlevania Advance Collection, and more. So all in all, this feels like a strong A- to me. There's one more thing, I'd say one of the best Directs ever, but there wasn't. So I'll give it like an 8.5, bordering on a 9, A-, B+, right in that range. A really good time, and for me personally, I had fun. And that's what this is about, right? So thanks so much for spending some of your day with me. I hope this is a fun review for you, and I'd love to hear what your reaction and your review was, what you were excited about and what you were bummed about. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be covering all this stuff as we get more and more information for AC and Smash Bros. And NSO and Kirby and Splatoon and all that good stuff. Until then though, thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.